In this QuickBooks video, we want to look at a situation where we want to change or delete an invoice that's been in the system for a couple of months. You may be aware, as you hear this from accountants all the time, they are always concerned about changes being made to past transactions. Well, there's a good reason for that. So let's just take a couple of quick examples, and this can apply to other transactions besides just invoices. But let's use invoice as an example, and that's what we're going to work on today. So let's say you create an invoice towards the end of a year. Your QuickBooks file goes to your tax person, and they create a tax return that includes that invoice as income. If you go back later and you lower the amount of that invoice by $2,000 because of some agreement you reached with the customer, that happened in a past year. The tax return's already been filed. You're not going to get credit for that. You know, that's a reduction of $2,000 in income that you shouldn't have to pay tax on, but you will never get that opportunity unless somebody knows that you have changed the numbers in a previous year. That's why it's so important. Another example is sales tax returns. I actually see that from time to time where customer invoices get changed and that quarter was complete. The sales tax return was filed. The sales taxes were paid. And now the numbers have changed because someone went back and changed the original invoice. So you don't want to do that. All accounting systems have provided for that because it is an important concept to remember. That is, try to keep those changes in the current period. Now, where we're going to find that opportunity to make the change to an invoice in a current period is with the credit memo. Okay, so that's what we're going to look at. The first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to the Customer Center, and I have a customer here named Robert Allard, and there's this invoice that's still unpaid from September 12th. Now, in this sample file, the current date is December 15th of the same year, 2022. So this invoice is 3 months old, and it's not paid. That's in a previous quarter. Reports have been created, including all the income on this invoice. I don't want to change what's here. But the problem is that this last line for removal labor, this $520, now we find out that an error has been made. That was actually paid previously. That was the first part of the project. And so that should not have been included on this invoice. Well, how am I going to fix that now? Well, I'm going to close the invoice. And actually, I could go back up to these menus here. I'm just going to go to this New Transactions button right here in the Customer Center and select Credit Memo. So here we go. This is how we do it. I'm going to leave today's date on there. The rest of this is fine. I'm going to use the item that was used on the invoice because that's what I'm giving him the credit for, right? So it makes sense to reduce the income for that particular item. The quantity on the original invoice was 13. The rate was $40. There's my $520. That's what I want to give the customer credit for. When I go to save and close this, then I get this window. Okay, so now there's going to be an available credit. What do we want to do with it? There's a couple of options here. I could leave it as an open available credit. I would do this if I wanted to apply it to some invoice that was going to be created in the future. I could give the customer a refund. I might choose that option if the customer didn't owe me any money. But in this case, that invoice, which is almost $15,000, it's still unpaid. Customer still owes me that money. So I don't want to give him a refund, but I do want to apply the credit to that particular invoice to lower the amount by the $520 error, right? So I'm going to make that choice, click OK. Then QuickBooks opens this window with all the open invoices that I could apply to. Now for this customer, there's only one. And often you will see only one. There could be two or three, but in this case, there's only the one. The check mark is already there. I will select done. And that's it. The customer balance before was $14,510. Now it's $13,990. So the balance has been reduced. The change has been made with a current date. No old reports have now been made inaccurate. This is the way to do it, and it will be painless for everyone involved. So I hope that was helpful, and thanks for watching.